Well, dang, 620 came way too quick. I'm not quite ready with what I was going to print, but that's okay. I'll find something to print on this little Kingroon printer here. Welcome, hello everybody on this just sort of an impromptu last minute decision to go ahead and stream. So Joe Velasco, you're always first. Rex Waldy, hello, welcome. Thanks for popping in. And Ben Stanley, hello, and Non-Fam. Man, you guys are all here. That's great to see. Anybody who missed last week, we did a build last week on this guy right here, the Kingroon KP3S that was sent to me. So we did a little build on this. We did a test print of this little Viking guy, which actually turned out pretty decent. Where's my little close-up camera here? John Cook, hello, welcome. So we did a test print on this guy. It turned out pretty good, actually. Very good. I actually sped the speed up of the print from about, about 25% to the rest of it. I sped it up to 200%. And you can see that it did speed up a little bit in the quality, but otherwise it's not a bad looking print at all. So turned out good. So we, I just decided to come on tonight and do a little bit more quote unquote test printing on this thing. And I was just looking for a file to print. I'm looking for a specific one, but I can't find it. So I will, I'll just download and find something. I'm going to, I had mentioned 3 modifications I do to this printer. And hey, Andrew Osmond, hello, welcome. I mentioned 3 modifications I did to this printer last time I had one, which was the older version, which was, a year and a half ago. And one of the modifications was this little piece here that I print for the, mainly for the SD card slot, so that when you push the SD card into the side of the printer, it doesn't inadvertently go in under the frame. But I did notice when I was going to put this on last week that, let's turn the light on, get a little bit, there we go. I did notice that they have actually improved this quite a bit. So if I take that SD card out of the slot, there's really no gap underneath or above. So I can actually be looking up at the camera here and I can blindly go ahead and put that SD card in without it falling in. So that kind of made this little modification null and void. I don't need that. It would have looked kind of cute with the red highlights and everything, but I don't need it. So they've obviously fixed that and addressed that issue, unless I just fluked out and got a machine that, a printer that happened to have one that was in place. But if there's ever one out there, there's this little modification that you can use. So, and the other modification I did was, if I switch to this camera, you can see from behind, I made it's a spool holder that basically pops on. Oh, I didn't I didn't quite clean it up enough for it to pop on, but it basically pops onto the top of that rail. No, I just didn't quite clean it up enough, but it's going to be fine. And it basically, I must have hit a button. I think I'm homing. I hit the little screen and I'm homing the printer. No big deal. But yeah, the spool holder here, basically what it came with was two little wheels that you would put there and you'd roll around your spool, and it was just not my favorite thing. So it's a modification I found on Thingiverse. The description's below in the video on my previous video from last week on where to get this. So let me just go back. I did an auto level thing on here is what I did. Let's just home everything here and we'll just get that back to where it was. So that's the second modification, which is I really like, because it gets the spool. If you have the height, it gets the spool up out of the way. Okay, so I don't know why it's leaning on me. I put supports in here, and I think I just didn't quite clean out some of the supports on there. Not a big deal. And then the third modification, as you would have seen in that last image, the power supply is in kind of pieces here, because I took it apart. Third modification was to be a power supply holder, and yes, it is broken on the front. I put the power supply in, and then when I went to attach it, realized that the screw holes did not line up. So whether they've changed this piece of the power supply a little bit or not, I don't know. Anyways, screw holes didn't line up, and it was such a tight fit in there. I actually had to snap this open, break the plastic to get it out. And I'm gonna remodel this. I'm going to use this for a measuring tool or to measure, and I'm going to remodel and just model my own stand like this so that the power supply, and the idea is that this guy sits in here just like so. I'm not going to push it all the way in again because it was so hard to get out. I'm going to make it a little better clearance, and then that'll just sit on your desktop, and you'll have access to your on-off switch, and your plug will come out here. So I had to break that to get this out because it's such a tight fit. I'm not going to make mine nearly as tight. It doesn't have to be that tight. So because it goes in and it screws in on the sides, 2 screws on one side, 1 screw on this side. It doesn't need to be super, super tight if you're screwing it in. So I'm going to remodel this guy. So I like the way they've done the feet. It's a very simple model. It's going to be real easy to do, but I just didn't like how tight it fits. So we're going to remodel that. Maybe while there's a print running today, I can pop open the software and we can model that together. We'll see. But I just wanted to come on for a little bit of a Saturday night stream and talk a little bit more about this Kingroon. And it's quite happy with the print, but I want to print a non-testing file. So yeah, so that's where we're at. So I'm just going to look for something. I was looking for something specific to print. I've got Jesse, Blood Red Jesse PLA on here. I just want to see why this, hang on a minute. I just lost my window. There's my window. I'm just going to pop this off here. I just want to see why this thing is not sitting on there so perfect. So that just comes off and just sits right on here. Oh, I think I broke. Oh, I see. I got a chunk of plastic stuck in here. I didn't clean the supports off perfectly on this. And I see I've got a chunk of plastic sitting right there. So if I cut that off, yeah, that was about how much it was leaning too. And then if I put that back on, still not going in quite all the way. I didn't design this model, so I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, there's just a bunch of little, because it's a very tight, it's a snug fit, and it was it chewed off a bunch of the plastic on the sides when I put it on. Of course, because it's sharp and the aluminum extrusions here are quite sharp, and so maybe it's not sitting. I know it's meant to lean a bit, but I don't think it's meant to wobble like it is. But again, I may redesign this part as well. I may redesign it so it fits a little bit better. But you know what? Right for now, yeah, I don't like the way that wobbles like that. But for now, it's going to do the job it's meant to do, and that is hold that spool straight above the nozzle. So we're just going to go with that. Yeah, it's the old thing. If you want it done right, do it yourself. And it's probably this is the same design I got for the older Kingroon. So it's quite possible that was it's an older design, and I just picked the older design and printed it. So what the heck? So let's go ahead and print something different. I want to slice something. I downloaded a Prusa slicer profile, just a random one I found. I'm going to pull that Prusa slicer over here. I should have gotten the new alpha version of Prusa to try that new algorithm on this printer, but we'll just leave it as is for now. And let's find a model. Let's just find something I've already printed and I know. Let's see, why don't I print something for the stealth burner for the Voron I'm building. Let's go to the STLs. What could I print that would look, I want to print something quick. ADXL 345 mount print heads, and we're using the Voron Revo print head, front, rear. That's too big a print. That'll take forever to print on here. I just want to find something to print to give this thing a test on an actual print other than a test print that came on the card, because there are more test prints. But yeah, that one. That's a Gilder print. That's not going to show too much. You know, I could always just print a benchy too. Do I have a benchy? I mean, I could just go for the good old benchy. Why not? And see how it does on the overhangs and so forth, because give it a little bit of a workout. Why are you not dragging? Oh, because you're a zipped file. I've got to unzip you. There we go. And let's see if I can find that file. Boom, boom, boom. My desktop is a mess right now. Am I on the right camera? I'm probably not. Right there. There we go. I didn't realize I was over on the other camera. Benchy. I unzipped it and it's hiding somewhere on my desktop. Oh, that's annoying, you know. Okay, we're going to try that again. Well, I don't like when I move something to my desktop and Windows just randomly puts it somewhere. There it is. I found it now. Okay. And let me get back so I can see if there's any chat happening. And hey, Apprentice, how are you? Okay. So I'm just going to go over here really quick. This is just the profile I downloaded from, actually I got it on Thingiverse for the KP3S for the Prusa. So we're just going to, I'm not going to even worry about this. We're going to go up here. We'll just do some standard print settings for this. I want my 0.2 layer height. You know what? I'll do a 0.2. I'll do 0.2. I like a 0.2 layer height. First layer height, we're going to do 0.2. A little taller, 0.25. 3 perimeters is fine. 3, we'll do 4 and 4. I don't know what the standard infill for a benchy is, but we'll do 20%. We'll just leave it. I don't want stars. I'm just going to do rectangle. I like gyroid. Gyroid's a kind of a cool one. We'll do 3 loops for my skirt, and I like to do this about 20 millimeters around. And speed, we're going to leave it at standard 60. That's fair enough. And I'm going to go to filament settings. We're going to go to 210 for Jesse PLA. 60 for the bed is fine. Cooling is fine. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we're good here. Okay, just something quick to slice up here. Should be an hour-long print, if that. 1 hour, 35 minutes. It'll give us time to look. It's not a speed benchy, that's for sure. Okay, let me grab the SD card out of here. And where's my micro SD? Right here, way up over here. Oh, I'll switch cameras. You guys don't want to stare at that the whole time. Micro SD port is right there. Yeah, I know. I don't want to read you. Boom. And let's just save it to that. 3D benchy, save. And eject. There we go. Okay. Start this print up. See how this does. And then I will maybe quickly model that base for the power supply. But okay. Let's go back. I haven't touched the level since last week, so everything should still be fine. The Z offset should be fine. We're going to go printing and not there. Benchy and confirm. Well, let's see how well this profile was made. So we're going to do some heating up, and we'll get going. So I've got a new where'd it go? I'm going to pop this camera off of this guy. This will be the camera we can watch that benchy print with. And I picked myself up a new little mount here. I'm hoping is going to make this a little better camera because it'll make it a little more versatile for where I can put it. This is a great little close-up camera. It's that document camera you see a lot of us using, but it had a terrible stand. 6 watches and 1 like. Hey, that's all right, Joe. I'm glad there's 6 people watching at least anyways, because it's last minute impromptu. Loyal's doing a major big giveaway stream on Twitch. And yeah. So the idea behind this is a really cool mount. These mounts are called small rig. And it'll pretty much clip to anything. And then it's got this little adjustable thing that'll pretty much adjust to any way I want it to go. So I'm going to try and clip this. Where can I clip this on the little Kingroon here? We're going to start printing now. Let me bring this other camera in the meantime while I play with this. Let me zoom in here. Whoa, zoom in. There we go. Meantime, you can watch this print start from here. Focus on these things is very fussy, but once I get it, it's good. 5 watching, 5 likes. I like it. Hey, thanks everybody. That is awesome sauce, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I can probably mount this little guy to this. Oh, I can. It's so versatile. And then if I here we go. Now we're going to start the print. Let me just get rid of the snots that are going to go out first, and hopefully I don't have to re-level anything. Let's see. There we go. So I do 3 skirts. It takes a little bit sometimes for the filament to get flowing. So there we go. Let's see how that does. Bernie 3D Prints. Hello, good evening, and hello, Mink Customs Chris. Welcome. We're just doing another little test print on this little Kingroon KP3S to see. Last week was one of their test files, and this week is one of my own files. So if I take this and I turn this sideways, I'm playing with my new camera mount. Whoops, I didn't tell you to turn on light. And if I turn you sideways and mount you on that tripod like that, and then mount you like that, oh, this might work. This might just work. Let's see. Let's just see. Close-up cam. Oh, yeah, I like that because then I can move that pretty much anywhere I want. Can I go lower? Oh, I can go down like that. Oh, this is nice. What a nice little combination this thing makes. There we go. I like this printer, Ben. I had one that I'd since given to a friend, but I had one about 1.5 years ago, one of the first versions, and I had updated to this new hot end, the Titan style hot end, and I quite like it. This little printer does great prints. It's $169 US for this printer, and for the price, it doesn't do bad at all. There's a higher end model where it has the power supply built in versus having a separate power supply. Standalone power supply, but no, this, I like it. This is a great little printer. I think anybody wanting to get into the hobby and they have a couple $100 to spend, and they're not sure they're going to like the hobby, blah blah blah, get a printer like this. You can also get the Creality Ender 2 Pro, but for $10 less, but doesn't have nearly the features that this does. You know, considering this one for $170 US, you have linear rails on the X and the Y. Okay, you have direct drive Titan clone extruder. It's not bad. Touchscreen display. It's a small touchscreen display, but it's, you know, it's good. Silent stepper drivers, etc., etc. So, I mean, there's a few things, as I've said, that I would change about it, but really for out of the box, it's not bad. How upgradable is it? It's pretty upgradable. I've seen people, so if I back this up a little bit, this touchscreen that's lying down here flat, which I don't want to brush that off, it's very responsive. There's mods where you can take that and bring your touchscreen so it's on a bit of an angle and off to the side. I added, if I switch to this back camera here, I added this spool holder because I didn't like the separate spool holder that came with it. So you can put a spool holder on top. I'm going to be printing a new stand. That's why this is all apart. I don't recommend you do this, but I've been very careful with it, but that's all apart. I'm going to make a separate stand for the power supply because it's a standalone power supply. I'm going to lengthen the wire from the power supply to the printer so that I can have the power supply wherever, and I don't have to, yeah. You got a Kingroon as well, Paul? Yeah, they're good little printers. Not bad at all. So the first test print, which was last week, and this was a test print on their car, it turned out really good. It's kind of the standard, it's their standard Viking test print. And what it's meant to be, it's meant to go in the end of an extruder, and it was designed for their old style extruder. where you could stick it on the end of the extruder and it would turn as the thing was extruding. So, can you install an ABL sensor onto it? I haven't looked at the board, but I think you can, but I honestly don't think you need to. It's a 180 by 180 bed. You could. I think you could, but don't quote me. I'd have to check the board first. But I was asked the question: am I going to put a ABL or something like that on my Voron 01s? I said no. They're 100 millimeter by 100 millimeter bed. I don't need to. So yeah. But this one here, my experience so far has been once I level it, it's staying pretty level. I would encourage. These aren't too bad, but I would encourage stronger springs for the leveling knobs. That's one thing I do for all my other printers, is I make sure I have those strong yellow springs for the leveling knobs so that they stay level. But this one, so far, I haven't had a problem. This will be my third or fourth print on this, and I have not changed the level on the bed. The other prints were just a few quick things I did for some friends, and they're gone, but they printed well. But I kept the test print from last week, and I'm going to also print. I think that'll fit on the bed. When I print, yeah, I'll be printing this power supply holder. When I redesign it, I'll print it on there with the filament that's on there as well in that red. So I'm trying to do everything in a red theme because that's kind of my channel colors. Man, this camera angle makes that look like a very narrow benchy, but it's pretty much a standard size benchy. I believe that might be a narrow benchy. It's been a while since I printed a benchy, so. Where can you find the bed? I assume that's what you're asking, Paul. They have different bed surfaces on their site now. You can buy. I have a PEX steel flexible PEX sheet coming from them, which is lost in the mail somewhere. And you can buy PEI sheets. You can buy textured PEI sheets for this thing now. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this print surface that's on it. It's working fine. I'm used to it, and I'm not going to damage it if I don't have to. But when I first got into 3D printing, and I had my Creality CR20 Pro, it had this cheapo type flexible magnet bed on it. I didn't know what I was doing, and I jammed the nozzle into it, and it was done. These are not nearly as forgiving as a steel flex plate. So, did you feed Waylon? Oh, not yet, but I will. Okay. So, oops. Oh, I think she's listening to my stream as well. She watched me answer. So, the other thing I'm going to fix on this printer. Paul, what I'll do is let me show you, Paul, real quick. Let me get over to the other window here. The weather, we are in a heat wave here. It is hot here today. We are in a major heat wave. Kingroon.com. You have one also. You made the spool holder, which is a must. Yes, exactly. The spool holder supplied, and I'm sorry if you're listening, Kingroon, or if you watch this, it's crap. In a pinch, it works. If you got nothing better, it works. But if you don't have them quite lined up straight, I mean, I've had the spool fall off it a couple times, but do something. If you have it, do something like this one. You'll thank yourself, especially it puts a little extra height on it, but do something like this. Makes a big difference. There's all kinds of mods out there. There's a lot of mods out there for this printer, including many different spool holder mods. Yeah, do something with the spool holder. Do something with the power supply. Unless the power supply is just a personal thing for me. So, but as I say, they have. If I go there, they have a KP3S Pro. Okay. which I'll show you on the screen right here. And it's a little more. It's from 169, it's 249, but the power supply is built right in. So they've built the power supply right into it. Same kind of hot end. They've added a filament sensor. They have, looks like they have a little better filament path, but I believe they're still providing the same. Oh, and you're a little bit bigger. It's got 200 millimeter by 200 millimeters, so they've increased the print size by 20 millimeters. And they still have the linear rails. Oh, it looks like they've changed. Don't tell me they went to standard rails on the bottom. Oh, they have a linear Z rail, a linear X rail, and it looks like they've got the wheels on the Y now. Interesting. Why would they have taken the linears off the Ys? Anyways. And there's the comparison between the Pro and that. So power supply is internal, filament runout detector, and basically print resolutions here and or there, and the bed size. So basically your biggest differences here are the bed size, filament detector, and the power supply being internal. And obviously they've given you a, it's weird. It's almost like, okay, let's put the linear rail on the Z and take it off of the Y. And I would have just left it on all three. I don't know. There's obviously a reason. So, but anyway, so as far as accessories go, there's PEI sheets. They sell all sorts of different beds in these. And it looks like they're Wham Bam made sheets, or same people that make Wham Bam for their flexible beds. So they have a lot of options to do here. Linear rails, your wheels, number one, you don't have to worry about your eccentric nut on the one wheel and tightening it too tight or too loose. Also, you don't have any wheels to wear out. So if you have a flat spot on one of your wheels, it's not going to be as big a deal. As Bernie said right there, no flat spot on the wheels is what I'm saying. And then I'd rather see a linear rail on the Y than I would on the Z. It's nice to have it on the Z, but the Z you're moving 0.4, 0.2, whatever millimeters at a time up your Z. You're not rolling up and down on the Z. Unless of course you're doing a Voron and it's that a whole different story. But on this, you're not rolling up and down in the Z, so you're not worried about the wheels lumping around so much, and the wheels won't wear out as quick. So, yeah. And linear rails, let's face it, they just look better. They look cooler. No, they're definitely better functioning, especially if you need good linear rails. The disadvantage, well, I guess there's no disadvantage in the sense you need to, linear rails can dry out. You need to lubricate them every so often if they dry out. I haven't had to lubricate any so far yet, but at the same time, you may have to replace wheels if you're using the wheels. So both options do need some sort of maintenance. And preventive maintenance on the linear rails is making sure that they are lubricated proper. Hey, Jerry, how are you? So one thing I may do one day, I don't know, I haven't tried, is I didn't take these linear rails apart on this one and grease them and clean them myself. I assumed, because this printer is right out of the box, you put it together, boom, it's supposed to be a plug and play printer, that these linear rails would be properly lubricated. So this one, the X and the Y down below here. So yeah. But yeah. So the other one that's coming to me soon, and I don't know, it's coming to me soon, but I'm not exactly sure when. We're waiting for stock in Canada, is this guy here. And I'm excited to try this one once they send it to me, and that's the KP5L. So this is the big brother of this one. This has got the larger volume. I think it's 300 by 300, or is it 280 by 280? Let's see. This one has linear rails on all X, Y, and Z axes. So we've got linear rails on all axes on this. It's got the same, pretty much the exact same hot end as this one has. It's got the silent motherboard 32-bit. Again, quick assembly. It's got the display off to the side. And it has, this one's coming with a tempered glass surface, which I don't mind the tempered glass. I'm a fan of flexible steel sheets, but the glass has its place and it works in some instances. So I'm looking forward to getting this one and giving this one a good run for its money, because if the quality of this one is anything like the quality of this little one, it's going to be great. Hey, Llama, how are you? So yeah, that's great. And you look at that, and that's only $2.99 when you think about it. I'm trying to find the size here, the print volume here. It's going to be in one of these images. Let's see. Oh, no, that's what comes with. Oh, 300 by 300 by 330 right there. So yeah, that'd be a nice little size. So big brother to the KP3S. There we go. There we go, benchy. This benchy looks narrower than it should. It could, as I say, it's probably just me. I'm not used to printing benchies. Ever hear of the crazy 3D printer? No, I thought that was my 0.1 that I'm still working on. No, I haven't heard of that. Oh, the other thing, if you and I gotta put in. I'll put it in the description afterwards. I didn't do it tonight. I'm guilty of that. Is that? Oh, hang on. We got a special guest here. He's going out, but he wants to say something before he leaves. Hang on one sec. Come here. No, come here. Move my floor. No.
Hit that like button and subscribe.
No.
Bye.
Yeah, get into the camera more. You got to get over here and look up at that camera.
Okay.
And say it again.
Okay. Hit that like button and subscribe. Bye.
There we go. See you later. Love you. Bye. Love you too, honey. Fam Jam's going out, and I'm staying live. Let's go back to the close up. So hey, if you don't hit that like button and subscribe after that, just leave. Just leave. You know, how could you not? The KP5L uses all linear rails. Yes. So let me go back to that screen for you there, Ben. So yeah, they're saying if we go down here, right. Where did I see it? Right there, linear rails on all axes, X, Y, and Z. These are interesting because they look like, and I can't zoom in, but these almost look like it's an interesting looking linear rail. It's like a double linear pipe. I don't know. They look so much different than linear rails I've seen, unless they're black. Well, they're black, and I just can't see them. Okay, that's what it is. So those linear rails are black. So there's linear rails, dual linear rails on the Z, linear rail on the X, and underneath, I can't see it, but I'm just going to assume it's a single linear rail on the Y underneath. Yeah. I just can't zoom in on this thing any closer. If I was on my Mac, I could, because all I do is double click my mouse and it kind of zooms in for me. Is the power supply built in on that one? It is. Yeah. Power supply is built in underneath. Yeah. And oh, you know what? What's it have for a spool holder? I don't see anything about a spool holder. I hope they're not putting a printer like this out and giving you that little spool holder on the side. But let's see. Oh, they are. Look at that. Come on, Kingroon. We want a top-mounted spool holder. To me, if you see these two parts right here, it looks like it's the same two spool holders that sit on the desk. I don't know what that is, but come on, we need a printer like this. You got to have a side or a top-mounted spool holder. You don't want any of that stuff that's sitting on the desk off to the side. I'm sorry, but that's, anyways, yeah. So that'll be one thing I would right away say, yeah, I'm going to modify on that is get, you know, decent spool holder. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's deal breaker, yes. I mean, there's a mod out there for it, but possibly, I'm sure people have mentioned it to them. I don't know how many of these are out there yet. I know this just recently came out. So, yeah. But when you're coming up with a printer that size, you need a decent spool holder on it. Okay, how's our benchy looking? It's looking pretty good. It's looking good. That what might look on the camera like issue going on in the back there, it's not. That's just the lettering that's there on the back of the benchy that it's showing. It looks like it's having an issue on those layers, but that's just the lettering. But it's doing pretty good. Very tempted by the KP5L. Well, yeah, you can hang on if you want, depending on when you want to get it. But I will be getting one as soon as they're available in Canada. I know they're available in the U.S. right now. U.S. warehouse. But they will be coming. They'll be coming, and I'll be taking a look at it. So, I was going to say, when I took this guy apart here, okay, this power supply is apart, and the reason again is because I'm going to build a new stand. One thing I will be fixing as well. So we have our mains right here going to from the power to the mains, our mains to the power, and then we have our power going out. That's probably 24 volt going out to the main board. They've tinned the wires on the end of that, so I'm going to actually take that off, and I'll be putting ferrules on there instead of tinned wires. But I'm also going to be taking some gauge wire. What gauge is this? I think this is 20. This is 20 gauge, which is fine for 24 volts. But I'm going to be lengthening that cable as well to give myself a longer reach on that cable. So that's one of the other things I'm going to do with that. And so, and again, using ferrules, and on a 24 volt supply, that's not going to heat up too much. The tinned wires is not a major deal breaker on that, but I just like to fix it anyways. So just because, well, it's apart, I will do it. So I've been working with, well, this is printing. I'll just chat here. I guess I could design that other piece too while we're chatting here, waiting for this benchy, but I've been printing, and I've gone through almost a whole roll of a product. It's Matter 3D. They're a company here in Canada, British Columbia. I've been printing a lot of parts for the skirt on my Voron 2.4 in their carbon fiber PLA. This is beautiful filament. Let me just steal this camera for a minute. This is the part for the power outlet for it, and this is printed in PLA carbon fiber. It's a little bit too light. I wonder if I need that light on, because yeah, there we go. That's a little better. And this was run using the new Prusa slicer, the Alpha Prusa slicer. Is it 1.5, 2.5, whatever it is the new Alpha one with that new algorithm. That's the inside finish of the print. There's the side body for this print. I mean, that is beautiful. And this is, as I say, PLA carbon fiber from Matter 3D. And if you look there, beautiful print. And then there's the that's the bottom layer that was on the bed. This was printed on the Focus Odin F5. So, and strong, I mean, for carbon fiber, very strong. And let's focus this again. Yeah, and this prints at a much higher temperature than standard PLA. So yeah, anyways, just wanted to show you that. Let's see. When you started the benchy to print and it started to get up to temperature, were the fans very noisy until it laid down plastic? Not really, Bernie, no. No, not really at all. Like right now, the part cooling fan, which I'm assuming is this one, is not even running right now. And the hot end fan in here is very, let's see, that's running. Or is this a hot end fan? Why is that not running? Oh no, that's the part cooling fan. Sorry, the hot end fan's inside here. Yeah, but no, not at all. No, there was really no negligible difference in this in the sound. Yeah, that is my hot end fan right here. But my part cooling fan isn't running, which is interesting because, mind you, I didn't take that close a look at that profile that I sliced this with. So let's see what they've got set just for fun for the fan settings on this thing. Cooling. Oh, minimum 35, maximum 100. Okay, well, they got the cooling down to 35 at the minimum, so it's probably... enable fan if layer print time is below 10. Slow down layer print time is below 5. Yeah. It's going to be variable. It's fine. It's going to work fine. Your one is noisy till it gets to temperatures. That's just really interesting. It's a nice top layer on that benchy there. Actually, the power supply fan right now is the loudest fan going on this thing. I'm not even... I can hear the part cooling or the hot end fan slightly if I put my ear right up to it. But the power supply fan is the loudest fan right now. And that seems to be the case with most printers. I'm surprised we're not getting any part cooling right now, but again, I didn't create this profile, so I just downloaded a profile and said, let's just use it. But it doesn't look like it's needing it right now anyways for what it's doing. So what else is going on other than me showing this quite capable little printer? I attempted to print nylon carbon fiber today on Jerry's stream, but apparently I was printing it a little bit too fast. So I'd never printed carbon fiber nylon before, so I wasn't aware that I needed to be a little slower on my speeds. Never bothers you as you're used to industrial injection molding. Okay. I don't mind the fans. It's not... people say, well, you never be able to sleep with your printer beside your bed. Well, I beg to differ. I run a portable air conditioner in this temperatures we're having right now. And even in the winter, I have a fan going when I sleep because I just like the noise. I have to have some sort of background noise when I'm sleeping. So fan is perfect. Now, excuse me. That said, 3D printer in the days prior to the silent stepper motors, when the 3D printers, I'm trying to even think of the noise they used to make when it was whatever the noise was, that would drive me nuts. So Chris says he's the same way. Yeah, I cannot sleep in dead silence. I just can't. To me, the silence is deafening. So I have to have something. I even once in a while, I haven't listened to it in a while, but I used to listen to a podcast called Sleep With Me podcast. And it was just a guy his name was Drew, I believe, and he would just bore you to sleep. But he had such a subtle way of speaking, and you just listen to his story and it would make no sense at all. And you'd fall asleep. You were just about to say that, yeah. Oh. Great minds think alike. So I like the spool holder. This is a wider than standard spool, and it's holding it pretty good. I just don't like the way it's leaning over. I'm going to have to redesign it, almost like these extrusions are too big. So I'm going to have to redesign a spool holder for this thing, which is fun because I enjoy 3D modeling. So the news from Lake Wambagan, that sounds like it could be exciting enough to put you to sleep. Yep. How are we looking from this other angle? Let's see. There's this other angle. Let's zoom in a bit on this. Can I zoom in any further? Boom, and boom, and there we go. That's a little bit. Hang on. There we go. Focus, focus, focus. Yeah, that gives a nice view of that. Actually, the cool thing about this setup is I can come in here and I can actually do this and this and this, and is it that one? Yeah, I can go like this. And there we go. Look how funky that is. You get a couple different views. I'm going to turn the light back on this. There we go. It's a PBS radio show. Oh, you spelt it wrong. Oh, I get it. Okay. I would not have spelled Wombaggin anyways. So, yeah. So I've also heard of people clipperizing this printer, this Kingroon KP3S too, and getting some pretty good speeds out of it. But I don't know. I would not especially with the price of pies these days. I would not, $169 printer. You think, okay, what are you gonna spend another couple $100 on doing modifications? And then by the time it's all said and done, you could have just taken all that money and bought yourself XYZ printer. Modifications are great they create a lot of great streams, and they create a lot of, Ethan's dad just subscribed. Thank you so much, Marcus. I appreciate that. Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But yeah, by the time hello and welcome. By the time you add all your modifications up, it adds up. It really does, because I've done it. But modifications are great, especially for streamers. It gives you some great content, and people are interested in what you can do to modify your printer to make it better. But I'm all about that. But when you sit back and you're lurking, that's good. We like lurkers too. So when you just sit back and add up the cost of your modifications, as I say, you could have then said, okay, well, here's a $200 printer. Geez, I've put time and effort and another $200 or $300 into modifications, buying this part, buying a Raspberry Pi, yada, yada, yada. It's now a $600 printer. I could have then taken that $600 and bought XYZ printer. Hey, maybe even a little Voron 01 or something like that. Which is a great little printer, by the way, but it's a difficult build, but it's a great build if you're mechanically inclined and you have a lot of patience and you want to know exactly how 3D printers work inside and out. Do yourself a favor and do a build one day. But yeah, so the only modifications I'm going to do to any printer like this, woe be gone, James T. Hey. Woe be gone. That mean you're going to be gone, or you want me to be gone? The only mods I do to this are, like, as I say, the power supply holder, the filament holder, and it was going to be an SD card thing, but I don't need that now because they've seemed to have fixed that issue with the SD card. So, but otherwise, you shouldn't have to modify this printer to do what it's going to do. If I want a faster printer, I'd put a little more money out and buy a faster printer. So, again, I don't really need to modify the hot end. There's a lot of modifications out here for dual cooling as opposed to the single cooling here. But again, it all depends on what you want to get out of the printer and what you want your final results to be. For a printer of this price level, this is putting out good prints for a printer of this price level. For somebody starting in the printing that wants to just print some parts and tinker with it and play with it and try it and print some toys for their kids or whatever. So I'm going to be attempting, because we have the direct drive feeder, I'm going to be attempting some TPU on this pretty soon too. I have some TPU from 3D Printing Canada, has sent me some TPU, 4 rolls of TPU to test. So we're going to be testing some TPU, and I'll be testing it both on this and probably on the Prusa. And pick a printer. I can test it on any printer. So, because I believe all my printers now, I believe, are direct drive. I don't know if I have any Bowden printers left. No, it's not true. No, it is true. No, my FL Sun, the SR, is a Bowden printer, and my NE Cubic is a Bowden printer. Great for lithophanes. I got to get into printing lithophanes. I've tried them a few times in the past. Didn't know what I was doing. Had crappy results, but I want to try getting back into doing lithophanes now that I've got a little more experience under my belt. And I know that Matt German is out there. He is the king of lithophane, in my opinion. And I know he could probably assist me in some settings, et cetera, et cetera. So, and apparently the 2.4 that I'm building right now, which has a fixed bed, is going to be really good for lithophanes because it's not a bed slinger. So you're taking that noise out of it, I suppose, if you want to call it that. 3D rocks. Okay, interesting. Let me look that up while I'm here. 3D rocks, lithophane. Let's see. Image to lithophane, 3D printing rocks. So 3DP rocks. Okay. Oh, okay. I've seen this before. Okay, cool. You can do lampshades. You can do spheres. Okay, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to bookmark that page. Where's my bookmark panel? Oh, just leave the tab open. Windows. I'm so used to a Mac, but I will save that page. Okay, that looks. Yeah, I have seen that. I haven't looked at that in a long time, and I think they're always improving it too. I'm going to try it. I want to do lithophanes because they are the coolest thing. And then I want to learn how to do color lithophanes. So. I'm quite happy with this benchy so far. Whatever floats your boat. Sorry, couldn't resist. So I got some, my good buddy Richard Cleveland has transferred ownership to me of a bottle of 3D Gloop. I've never tried 3D Gloop before. PLA 3D Gloop. So I'm going to try that. I don't think I'll use it for bad adhesion, which is what he was testing it for, was bad adhesion, and it works good, but I think I'm going to use it more so for gluing parts together. Now I opened the bottle and it went all over my hands, and boy, it's like those old school days where you peeled the glue off your fingers. You'd take the white glue, you'd put it all over, then you peel it off. Although it was a whole lot harder to peel off. So, but I do recommend wearing gloves when you use this stuff. But I just opened it to see what it smelled like, and it just happened to get all over me. So, yeah, but I've heard good stuff about this for connecting and joining models together. So 0.12 layer height, 100% infill, 35 speed, use curve first print, and just run a small size so you're not waiting long. About 3 hours. Okay, 0.12 layer height. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you're going to get better definition with that layer height. 100% infill and 0.3 and 35 for speed. Yeah, I know you don't want to go too fast because you don't want the noise in it. Okay, well, that's good. I'll have to remember that. And I'm going to try some lithophanes. Where is my handy dandy notebook? Oh, there it is right there. There's my pen. Let's go 0.12. 100% and 35 speed. We will try that. We will try those settings. Perfect. Thank you. I got to organize my desk here a little better. Makes photo black and white. Yeah. Matt German, I'm sure tactile 3D prints. I'm sure you guys have seen his channel, or some of you have. I don't know how he does it, but he does incredible color. He colors them after the fact somehow. Oh, God, they look good. They look great. What was that? Something just came in my mind to show you guys, and I don't remember what it was. Having brain farts here. What did I just... Oh, yeah. I've discovered a new... I'm going to say I discovered it, but it's been around forever, I think. But a new alternative to Fusion 360. And that is called... oh, man. What's it called again? And now I'm having an old man moment brain fart here. It's modeling software I've been playing with now, and it's free. And it's high end, but it's free for hobbyists, but of course limited edition. And I just lost it. Try to make the photo black and white before you upload to 3D Rock. So that's easy. Yeah, I can do that in Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop. Yeah, it's easy to convert, but that's good to know. Yeah, because that way it doesn't have to, read all the color data and interpret the color data. Onshape. Thank you, Joe. Yes, Onshape. See if I can log into Onshape, and I quite like it. Sign in. You can get a free account for Onshape. Now, some people don't like the free account fact for Onshape because the one downfall, and the reason it's free, and you get pretty much a full, you can do some pretty good stuff in it, but your models are open and available to the public. So you don't want to go into Onshape and make something that is... what's the proprietary? If you're under an NDA with somebody, yada, 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 you don't necessarily want to go in and do it because your models are free to public, but that's the price, quote unquote, that you're paying or not paying to have a free software. So here's a case study, if you want to call it a case study. We have this, we have a little blanket rack, and the legs kept breaking, and this one leg has been broken so many times that it is next to impossible to fix. So it's got a screw in the middle and dowels on the other ones, but the wood has been split and glued so many times, it's tough. So what I did is I went, if you kind of keep an eye on this shape, there we go. And I went into Onshape and I modeled it in about 15 minutes. It was so easy. I like their file structure in Onshape. I just like the way their tools work. There's a few things that I prefer over Fusion 360 in it, but I was able to actually go in and model, get my dowel holes, get my screw hole that screws right through the back. So I'm gonna eventually, once my rat rig's up and running again, I'm going to print 4 of these legs for this thing. They won't match the wood exactly. I can always paint them, or I can do them in. I won't do them in wood filament, no. But I can always, I'll do them in black, and then if I need to paint them, but I think they'll still look good because all 4 legs will match. But I love this modeling software. It's great. It's very similar feel to Fusion 360. You have your little timeline over here, your features, windows. It's a little different down below as far as the way your file structure works. I mean, you have an assembly. If you have a whole bunch of different parts, you can bring it together in one assembly tab, et cetera, et cetera. So anyways, I just thought it's great modeling software. So for free. Yeah. You just got to sign up. It's a free account for makers, and yeah, just don't model anything that you want to keep secret or you don't want anybody else to have access to. The plus about that, though, is I can go on and say I wanted to model myself I'll probably go on and look and say, okay, power supply holder, somebody might have made one similar or very, a different idea, and I can then take that model and I can bring it into my Onshape, and then I can alter it to the way I need it. So that's a plus that way, because it's sort of a community-oriented thing. Or if there's something I'm just looking for and I need it, I can look and see if it's there, and why reinvent the wheel if somebody else has done it. So can you import a design? Good question. Let's just see what we have here. It's all cloud-based too, just so you know. It's cloud-based. I can... So if I go back, I'm new to this software, just so you know. So I can go here. I can go create. I can import files. So if I say import from connected service or import files, it'll import any kind of file. It just says all files. So let's see if I have an STL. I don't know. Let's see what it does with STLs. Let's go to my desktop. There, I can show you what I'm doing here. So I can import. Let's go to my desktop. Do I have an STL? 3D Benchy. Let's import a Benchy just for fun. Open. See what it does. Import to single document, split into multiple documents, combine into a single part studio. I don't know. Let's import in. Let's use the default. And it's importing. And it imported the Benchy. If I open it, 3MF. I don't know. What do I update? No. Download. No. I don't know what it did. I don't know what I'm doing here. I really don't. Cancel. And let's go back to my main window. I don't know what that did, but I downloaded something, obviously. Can I delete it? Send to trash. Let's try again. Let's go import. Let's see if I can import a vector. Astro Printer's logo. Just for fun. Nope. So I guess it's limited as to what it can do as far as importing, but let's send that to trash. And those are some other models I've opened to look at, a couple from Teaching Tech. So, oh, I did just answer it? Good, okay. Yeah, I'm sure you can. Again, I don't know enough about it. I don't really do many imports. I just did this. This is nothing. I was just doing just a test just to see how this all worked. Anyways, it's pretty decent software, in my opinion. But as I say, the big thing to watch out for is that it is public domain, all your files. So, but which stuff like this chair leg I'm making and other little things that I will have created doesn't matter to me. People can take them. Benchy almost looks like it had a layer shift there. We'll see what happens. Let's see my sliced file and see if that little offset is there on it. I don't believe so. No, so there's a little bit of something happened to the front of that Benchy. We'll see when it's done. How's the backside looking? Oh, backside looks okay. Check it out and get stressed learning it. Well, if you're used to other modeling software, it's not that big a stretch. I mean, for free, you can't go wrong. It's try it and see. What happened to the front of that Benchy? Oh. Now we have part cooling going on. I want to check something. I'm going to go over to Astro Printer's YouTube. Did he make it? I'm hoping he did. He did. Oh, good job. My good friend Liam, Astro Printer, just hit 1,000 subscribers today. Awesome, awesome, awesome. If you're out there listening, congratulations, Liam. He was 3 away, and I was just going to say, if you're not subscribed to Liam, Astro Printer, go ahead and subscribe to him. Get him over that 1,000 mark. Still, if you're not subscribed to him, go ahead and subscribe. So he does some great content, some great reviews, some great builds. And anything you want to know about space and stars and planets and NASA, he's there. And I designed his logo. Oh, that's good. I'm so happy that he hit 1,000. That is awesome. That made my night to see that. So now that I have that open, let's see. I wonder how hard it would be for me to model this thing up real quick. Let's just see. My biggest thing when I'm modeling something in 3D is which surface. In other words, for my first sketch, do I want to go from the bottom? Do I want to go from the side? Do I want to go from the front? And I have to look at it and say, okay, how are my extrusions going to work? What's my best option? Yeah. So let's see, on this particular one, if I'm going to do something similar, I want the feet protruding. They can come out in after. I can add those as other components. Really, I want to get the square base. And then I can just change everything on the other faces as need be. So if I just concentrate on the base for now, let's see. I got nothing better to do while we're waiting for this to print anyways, right? So let's go ahead and take some measurements down first. I always like to do a little bit of a rough sketch of what I'm doing and measure in advance. Everybody has their own way that they're going to model something, of course. I'm just bugged by that front of that benchy, though. I'm going to let it go, though. That's what I get for not creating my own profile. That's what you get for loving me. Okay, where's my pen? I won't sing, I promise. So I'm going to go from the bottom, and we're going to extrude up, and then I'll just go ahead and I will create all the different features on the side. So that's what I'll do. So this is going to be pretty simple. The actual power supply case is 51. So we're going to make it 52 millimeters, 52 wide, and then we are 117. So we're going to make that 118 wide. 1 millimeter clearance should be lots. Change. Sorry for all the comments, but most important part in 3D Rocks lithophane software is to change settings to negative or positive as default is wrong. Change to opposite. That's right. Yeah, you want to have a negative image so that when you're looking at it, it looks like crap. So that when the light comes through it, the light is going to light up the dark and darken up the light. Yeah. That's one thing I do know about lithophanes is you want to start with a negative, and then when the light hits it, it becomes a positive. I must be printing the rubber bumper version of the benchy. I don't know what happened to the front there. I'm going to let it finish, and I'm going to check it out and see. But the back looks fine. If you look at the back looks fine. I don't know what happened to that front. I really... there's an actual, let's see if I can, yeah, there's an actual bump there. A bump out. So, and yeah, I didn't create the profile for Prusa Slicer for this. I just downloaded the profile, imported the STL, and set my temperatures and all that and said print. So I don't know what's going on with the profile. What I really should do, to be fair to these guys, is I should load the Cura profile that came on the card with this printer and use that. and see. Let me, actually, I can't pop the card out right now. It's printing. Yeah. We'll just let it finish. What the heck. I'm going to create a document. I'm going to call this document KP3S PSU Holder. Anybody want to see me working on shape and cringe? Want to watch me the BattleBot version of the Benchy? Yes. I'll put this Benchy with the Death Racer I'm going to be making, and I'll put the Benchy as the head. I don't know whether you guys would rather see me struggling on shape or if you'd rather see me watch this Benchy print. So, actually, I could probably do both. If I were to go to this, the on shape window, let me get rid of brand. Let me get rid of, I have the power. I'll get rid of that. And that's the wrong camera in there anyways. So if I go like this, get rid of that, and then if I bring in this, no, wrong one, stop. Wrong video capture device. I want to bring in this one. No. It's like I don't know what I'm doing here, but I really honestly I do know what I'm doing. For the most part. I just don't remember which camera I have that hooked up. There we go. That one. Look at that bump in the Benchy. There we go. I can bring that in there. Just like that. You can keep an eye on the Benchy too. So I'm going to create a sketch. I'll do it on the top front. Doesn't matter what surface I do it on. I'm going to hit N to bring that flat. And then the only thing that I haven't been able to do an on shape, and I have to figure out if I can, I haven't been able to get my just put the logo in the bottom corner. I can do that. And on shape, I can't use my space mouse. I haven't figured out how to use my space mouse, which I do use in Fusion 360. So show over. Okay, there's my sketch. Oops. I don't want sketch 2. I want sketch 1. I hit the wrong. I'm still getting used to this. I want a box. Doesn't matter where. I want this to be. Oops. Get out of there. I want to dimension this box. I want this to be 90. What did I say? 118. The other thing I like about this is that, no, 118. Oh, see, I'm frozen. There we are. Is with dimensioning, all I need to do is pick one side. I don't need to pick the other side as well. Or do I? Come on. It's lying to me. Stop whatever you're doing. Dimension. There we go. I want this. There we go. That's what I wanted. What was all that other crap? 52. There we go. There's the base. There's the bottom. And we're going to extrude that to be how tall? 82. 82 millimeters tall. So we want to extrude it. Let's get a better view here. We want it to be 82 millimeters. That's good. Now, 82 millimeters is cool, but I don't want it to be solid. So I want to shell. And how thick do I want my walls? This, I got to remember, actually, I got to keep in mind This is going inside it, so I want my walls. I don't need them as thick as they are now. Hey, Gregory Alec 689. Nice to see you too. Thanks for being here. Right now, these ones on this one are 3.3 millimeters. I can get away with 2.5 millimeter walls. They don't have to be that thick. So we're going to shell the walls 2.5 millimeters right there. Look at that. Faces to remove. I want to remove this face. That's the only face I really want to remove right now because I'm going to be hollowing out everything else. So that's how easy it is to shell this out. Although, yeah, so let's just leave it at that. So now we have our sort of our shell. I don't like this view. Isometric. Is that what I'm looking for? No. Anyways. So now I've got my basic shape. I need to cut out on the back for my power supply. So I'm going to measure the opening. So I need a box that is... No, I'm not. Hang on. Let me think. I'm not designing this. I'm designing a case that this goes in. See, I'm thinking... There we go. So I want this to be... I need to do a cutout at 40 millimeters, 42 millimeters high. And then I want... It doesn't have to be that big. It can be 42 millimeters high and 70 millimeters open. So 42 by 70, I think I said. 42 up. Yep. And then we're going to go 70 wide. Anybody who's familiar with modeling software, I'm driving you nuts about now. I know I am. So we're going to sketch on this surface. Bring it to the front. And we're going to just create a box again. Although I want rounded corners. I'll figure that out after. But I want to just create a box 72 millimeters wide. Oops. So we're going to dimension that. .72. And height-wise, so I know I want the distance between there and there to be 42 millimeters. And then I just needed to cut the top of the box. So I don't really need that to be that tall. How tall is that going to be? About, let's see. Probably 38 millimeters. 38 millimeters sounds good. I want it to be right to the top. 39, 40. That works. I want to round that corner, and that's what I'm not sure. So I'm still fairly new to this stuff. So I want to round, but can I actually put a sketch fillet? Sketch a fillet? Really? Oh, look at that. That's cool. So if I do a radius of, well, let's do a radius of 11. Then I can sketch a fillet over here. Radius of 11. Look at that. That's cool. Let's bring up this sketch. Let's extrude it. And we want to cut. So we want to remove. And we want to just remove to that surface. I don't know quite how to tell it to go just to that surface in this yet. If I go okay, there we go. So there, I got that cutout I need. That's perfect so far. So that gives me that side. which is great. That's all I need for that side. I may just do a little. I've still got to put this base feet and everything in yet. So then if we go to the back side, I need my base to be a little thicker. So if I go back to this side, I need my base to be a little thicker. Can I just extrude that one piece? I want that to be 4 millimeters. So if I extrude, yes, I can extrude just that piece. I want to add, but I only want to extrude that by another 2 millimeters. And that should make the base a total of 4 millimeters thick. Good. Okay. I really wish I could use my space mouse. Okay. Now for the back side, I want this opening to be, because this is where I got to run that cable out through. Oh, look, Benchy's still got a little ways to go on the Benchy. So I want that to be 80. And we're going to come right up to the top. And we're going to come sort of a little circle-ish down, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, something like that. So 80 by... Okay. Let's see what I can do here. Sketch on this surface this time. Okay, I'm going to create a box here. We're going to make it... We're going to dimension that. And that's going to be 80. Oops. And I want the width to be, oh no, it was the width. Yeah, 80 is right. I want this to be, where's my, I wish, you know what I really need here? No, I don't. I want the distance between here and here to be 4 millimeters, because that's how thick my base is. And I want that to hit my base. And I want, actually, what did I do on the other side? Did I center that somehow? No, I don't think I centered that. I think I made a mistake there. Okay, that's all right. I can go back and fix that. Parallel, no, don't want parallel. I want coincident. No, I don't. Anyways, so if that's 80, how big is this here? Oops. Dimension cannot be created between these two items. Allow for slight shrinking on walls. Yeah. I'm not used to doing these things live, so I'm kind of like just sort of like kerfuffling my way around. I don't remember how tall I made that thing. Oh, I tell you how tall I made it at 52. Okay, that's the base, the height. I extruded it. How tall did I extrude that thing to? In Fusion 360, I can go back and check all these things. These ones, I'm just not 100% sure on this one how to go back and check how tall I extruded things to, but I can always actually just 118, 80. I'm getting there. If my math is right, I should, if my math is right, I should be dimensioning this from here to here. Okay, why are you not letting me dimension there? U to U. If my math is right, that should be 18, 19. And then if I'm right, that should also be 19, which it is. Yeah, perfect. So that's what I forgot to do on the other side. And I believe if I go to my second extrude, no, that's not the one I want. It's the this first one, 82 millimeters. I want to go 78. Okay, so let's get out of that. back into my drawing, and this one I want to extrude, or I want the height, sorry. I want this to be 78. If I'm right, yeah, that works out. 78. Okay, perfect. Now I want to extrude that. And I want to remove, and I want to go, okay. There we are. Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted for the front. Oh, a little bit too close to the bottom. Not a big deal. I can fix that. But that, see, I kind of got the basic shape now of what I'm trying to do here. That's funny that it's that close to the bottom. It looks like about 1 millimeter off. Where's that sketch? Sketch 3. It should be maybe. Where was that dimension? Right there. Maybe that should be 5 millimeter. That should be 77. Is that right? Let's see. Is there a little lip there? No, I think that's right. I need to figure out how to do like a cross section. Oh, there is a bit of a lip there, but that's okay. Because I've got to put a little bit of a zoomer thingy there. It is all part of the learning process. Yeah. Like, I don't know why there's a bit of a lip there. If I have a 4 millimeter base and I put it up 4 millimeters from the bottom, but that's okay. I also want to go in my sketch and I want to fix, I wanted to round these two corners up here. So if I do that tool here again and go, oh no, I can't do that. Only goes that way on that one. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want that close. Don't do that. There we go. It doesn't have to be rounded. I can actually put a little fillet there, I guess. If I do the little bit of a fillet, I always call it a fillet because it reminds me of the fish. If I fillet that little thing, yeah, I can just do a fillet of what? Let's see. Let's say 6 millimeters. And I'll do the same over here. That one there, and then we'll just go okay. Okay, so we got a little bit of a roundness there. I don't really need to worry about rounding it off there. It's just a cosmetic thing. So there we go. I guess I could have filleted these ones as well. So let me edit that fillet. I like the editing in this. The more I get used to it, so easy because I can go back and select multiple corners. There we go. So there we go. So we have that looking like that. So far, so good. And the beauty of it too is I don't have to hit save. You notice I haven't hit save. It automatically saves everything I do. Every time I click and make a change, now I don't remember where it puts it, but there's a place where it. I have to go back and watch some more of the videos on it, but there's a place every click, every move I make is recorded. So it's pretty cool. So there's a start. Now for the cable, there's a little bit of a, I guess what you want to call a cutout. How thick is this base? I want to measure the base of the one that I printed because it was a perfect thickness. It was 6 millimeters thick. And it's that thick to keep that cable under the power supply. So I think I got to change that. So that was that extrude. And I think I need to change that to 4. Let's just go 5. Make it a total of 7. Yeah, and that's going to change my other one, which is fine. So if I go back into this other sketch, and we're going to make this distance, I believe that was 8 altogether, and 74. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that's going to work. Come on, get this in the right orientation with my, there we go. How thick is the cable? Cable itself, we're speaking a 6mm cable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that same sketch. Let's bring it straight on. I hit the N key and it brings it straight on for me. I'm going to draw a circle, random circle, and I want that to be, let me dimension, escape and dimension the circle, 6mm to allow for the cable. And then I want, since it's 2mm, so then I want the distance, I want a dimension from here to here, 2mm. And, oh, I don't know, let's come in from here to here. Let's call that 4mm. Doesn't matter where it goes in, that's fine. Actually, 2mm is a little too low because the cable's actually got to sit. So we're going to go 3. And that'll allow the cable to snap into there. That should be fine. And we're going to extrude this. Oops, wrong one. Wrong button. Extrude this guy. Not you. Just you. No. No, 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 no. Not you. Not you. That's what I wanted to do right there. So we extruded that. And that's plenty. That's where that cable in the bottom, coming out of the bottom of the power supply, is going to sit. Right there. It's going to stick out the back. So it allows, I may have to change that circle so it's up a little higher. But I think that'll work. Although I may change that. Yeah. Let's change this extrusion here to, is it 1mm going to make a difference, or is it like 5.5? Yeah, that's better. It was 0.5 millimeter off for some reason. There we go. Okay. So now we have the part for the cord to come out. We're getting there, slowly but surely. All 6 of you, I'm appreciating you guys sticking around. Our benchies, we're just about to get on the bridging portion of the benchy here too. That's a good looking benchy, except for that little bump out. Wow. Okay, next we need to make some holes for the screws. So we'll get the feet going later. Holes for the screws, that's the issue this other one had. And they can be a little bit bigger. I mean, yeah, because the walls were too thick, which is why this didn't really work quite well. So we're going to use this actual metal piece here. You can't even see what I'm doing, but I'm just going to use this actual metal piece here. So basically what I'm kind of designing and modeling it after this piece here. This is sort of what you're seeing me do here. So, yeah. Yeah. Is the cable bend going to work on hole channel? Yeah, it will. The way it comes out of the bottom of the PSU and out of this, it comes right out of here, and it just comes out a little hole in the bottom here and turns at an angle. Oh, sorry, turns at an angle towards the front And it'll sit in that channel just deep enough in order for that cable to accommodate it. It worked with this one. As I say, this one worked good, except that the holes for tightening it were way out of whack, which is why I ended up destroying this. So, but yeah, that should work fine. Yeah. And at worst case scenario, I can always go in and I can actually make that channel even a little bit deeper, but that should be plenty. It's back more than it needs to be. It's back more than it needs to be. And the cable, should accommodate it fairly easily. I could have made that circle bigger. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just so the cable sticks out. So really, I could actually just to be even safe, which may not be a bad idea. I could even just make this circle. What is it? 6. I could make that 8 millimeter. And actually, for the heck of it, I could make it 9 millimeter. I could bring that down. Now I could bring that down to 2 millimeters. And and that gives me lots of clearance and lots of depth. So as long as I have the clearance and depth for that cable, that's fine. I don't care if it sits in snug or not, is because the power supply is going to be sitting down on top of it, holding it in place. So, I mean, I can get away with that just fine as it is right there. Sorry about the shakiness. I'm used to using a space mouse. So let's concentrate on the sides. So on this side, so I want to make sure I get this right. So it's coming out this way. So it's the left side where the cable's coming out. And I got to make sure that's in the right spot as well. Yeah, that's something I got to think of, because that cable comes out at a certain distance from the inside there. So from the inside of that to the middle of the cable, it's coming out at 20 millimeters. 21 millimeters. 21 millimeters out. So you're feeling better now. Good. But one thing I didn't account for, if I go back to this sketch, is this has to be, this dimension is kind of irrelevant. So if I can delete that dimension, it's this dimension here that's key, is from here to here, 21 millimeters. To the edge of the hole. Hang on. This is measuring to the edge, not the middle. I got to measure from the middle. Let me escape that. Let me delete that dimension. Let's do this proper. From here to here. There we go. I want that to be 21. Now, is that going to work? Because that means my other wall is a bit too thick. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. Let me measure again. No, it's 22 and a half. It's more like 22 to 23. I'm going to double check this. 22, I think. The beauty of this is when I print it, I can start the print. So I think it's 22 and a half is what I'm going to need here. 22 and a half, which is pretty close still. But I've got lots of room in there. So all that's going to do is give me a little bit of a cutout on there, which is fine. There's no real overhang. There's no anything. That's going to be fine. Beauty of it is I can do my print right up to there, stop it, and test it. So this is going to be probably 2 or 3 solid bottom, 2 or 3 solid top, and maybe 15-20% infill. So it's not like I'm going to print that all solid on the bottom either. So we should be okay there. Anyways, we'll figure that out. Nero 3D pre-tried printing Ultim on a Voron. Good example of what happens when you print in extreme temps. Oh, did he have a meltdown? That was tonight, right? What happened? Was he successful? Or I assume from your the way you worded that, Dominic, that it didn't work out. because he was printing what, 270 or like 300 in the mid 300s or something. How'd that work out? I hope he didn't kill his machine. There we go. I feel a little better about that right there. Just widen this. Actually, I'll do another. I'll widen this just another 1 millimeter, 82. And then we can make this 18. And now that should look a lot nicer. There we go. That's just a little cleaner there, straight up. There we go. Perfect. Dominic, tell me what happened. Tell me. You got a first layer, okay. The hot end shroud couldn't handle the high temps, and 2 of the heat sets pulled out of the carriage. Oh, gosh. Well, that's a crap load of heat. He had to be running, what, 350, 360 is what I believe I saw on his thumbnail that he was posting. Is he still live or is he done? Oh, he's still live. Let's try to print all. And he said temperatures, he said, were. Oh. No. Yeah, wow. He's still live, yeah. I'll use red, Bernie, for the holder just to match, because my channel color's red and the spool holder's red. I'll print it in the same red I'm printing right now for the Benchy, the Jesse PLA Blood Red, probably. Printer failed. Yeah, wow. Those I can imagine. I don't think these kind of printers that we use can handle those heats at all. I think you need a specific engineering type printer to handle that kind of heat. Yeah. Good for him for trying, though. Wow. Really good for him for trying. Okay, real quick, let's... so the single hole is on the left, and that is... We're going to come in from... Let's do a quick measurement here. So to the middle of the hole, we are looking... This is just a guesstimate here. 42 millimeters. No. 41.5. Looks like. So we're going to sketch on a different surface now. We're going to sketch over here. And we are going to come up this way. And I need to have a circle. And I want that to be, how wide do I want that circle to be? I just need to fit, I think it's an M5 or an M4 in there. So 4 millimeters. Again, if it's a bit big, I'm not going to be too concerned. And then we will do another circle to allow for the head. And that'll be, 7 3/4. Just doing some measurements here. So we'll do another circle based on that one. And that'll be 7.75. Good enough. 7.7 is good enough. And now we want them to be... Oh, Benchy's getting there. Benchy's getting there. We're on the roof. Since these are slotted, we can pretty much go anywhere within these realms. Although we really want it to be uh, 12 millimeters from the top to the middle. So I want this to be from here to here, 12 millimeters. And I want from the inside, and I like how those two circles lock together because I created one based on the constraints of the other. And I'm going to go from this side. And I want that to be 41 millimeters in. From here to here, 41 millimeters. Okay, so that's those circles, that's fine. So I want to extrude that one, that one. I want to remove, but I only want to remove about, so what are we, 2 millimeters thick? So about, I don't know. Let's just say, oh, geez, 1.5. No, I don't want only a 0.5 millimeter thick wall. Let's go 0.75. There we go. Okay. There's that. And then this one, I want to extrude. No, not you. I don't want, no. How do I unselect? Get rid of you, get rid of you. You, we're going to remove you altogether. So there's the hole to go through, allowing for the head of the bolt. Sticks out a little bit, that's good. Now, I wonder, because that's a mirror on the other side. So if I come around, it doesn't matter which sketch, any one of my side sketches, not that one, sketch 3 will work. If I come around here, and I go, so what's my midpoint is 59. Probably have worked if you had an aluminum mounting plate in the carriage. Yeah. I can see that. So I want to create a construction line parallel, and I want to, that's it, and I want to dimension from that construction line to here, and I want that to be 59. That's dead center of my model. Okay. So I have a construction line. Let's turn that sketch on. Okay, so now I want to, this is what I haven't done in this software yet. I know how to do this in Fusion 360, but I don't know how to mirror in this one. So let's see, where would the mirror right there. So we're going to mirror entities to mirror. We're going to mirror, let's zoom in. We're going to mirror that. Hang on. Part one. Part one. Part one. Is that the only entity I need to mirror? Is that? Because that's going to mirror the whole thing. I could be mirroring on a sketch, but I want to try this. Okay, and let's select the mirror plane. Is that, do I need a mirror plane, or why can't I select a mirror object? Select mate connector. That. Okay, what am I doing here? What? I don't know what I just did, but I obviously didn't do something right. Okay, that's the beauty of it is I can undo that. I got to learn how to use mirrors. Mirror plane. Can I create a plane along there? Huh. Anyways, anybody watching thinking, but the guy doesn't know what he's doing. It's because I'm new to this software. It's a little different than Fusion 360. But I should be able to mirror features. So if I go back to mirror, mirror plane. I don't want a mirror plane. I want a mirror on that. Entities to mirror is that. No. So it's mirroring, basically it's mirroring the whole part. Okay, that's not what I want. Entities to mirror. Part mirror. Oh, here we go. Feature mirror. Ah. Features to mirror. That. But where is it mirroring it to? Why is it mirroring it all the way up here? Okay. I have to create a plane then along that line. Okay, so let's cancel that. Let's just create a plane. Is that a plane right here? Plane. Right there. And okay. Oh, no, that created a plane along that way. How do I turn a plane? This is kind of fun. Anyways, this is how I learn. I just trial and error. So if I undo that, okay, I want to create a plane along this plane, 3-point, mid-plane, curve point, offset, plane point. I think it's a mid-plane. If I create between there and there we go. That works too. Okay, so that created a mid-plane, which is kind of what I wanted to do anyways. Okay, so if I mirror, and I mirror the features, and I come in and I mirror that, and I mirror that, that should be the features I need to mirror. And then I need to select my mirror plane, which is this, right, this one. That should work. Look at that. I think that worked. Let's see. And go. I lost half my model. Ah! I love the undo button. Okay. Let's try this again. We want to mirror. I don't want to mirror the part. I want to mirror a feature. Now, can I select the features in this? Can I select that and that? Oh, possibly. Look at that. Now the mirror plane is that, but it gets rid of the part. Why is that? You know, I could have just as easily gone on the other side and drawn it and done it past the long way, but this is how I learn. It's mirroring those pieces, but it's actually doing like an opposite. So if I say part, let's say if I say face mirror, no. And the benchy's almost done. Oh, well, let's get back to this, actually. I mean, this is all about the Kingroon, not about the part, but I have to figure out the mirror command on this because I should just be able to mirror this feature to this wall, So, but I may have to go and mirror the sketch instead and then just do the extrusions and everything on the sketch. This is when you would start up Tinkercad. Oh, there's many ways to cook a duck in this thing, so. Here's a benchy. last portions of the benchy. And then, yeah. Oh, I'm getting tired too. So that the bottom left camera makes the benchy look so narrow. Like it's almost like the benchy is narrow, whereas the camera over here makes it look actually normal. But I'm curious why that bump happened. I'll never figure it out. But other than that bump, I think it's not a bad looking benchy. And we'll be doing more probably next Saturday. I want to work a lot on this little Kingroon because I really believe in this little printer. So I want to kind of feature it a fair bit. No, it's 2 hour stream. That's not bad. 2 hours, pretty good for a Saturday night. Look at the difference, though. You got Nero, who's got 384 people watching him. I have 8. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Sounds about right. I think we're done. 5, 4, 3. Oh, no problem. I'm glad. I mean, I'll do more next week if you want to pop in next week as well, Bernie. I'll play with it some more next week, actually. I'll probably leave this drawing and maybe, I don't know. I want to figure out the mirroring. I want to figure out how to do the mirroring. I've only watched probably about an hour's worth of training videos on Onshape. So I'm kind of, but a lot of it's similar to Fusion 360, except the mirroring has kind of got me a little bit mystified here. But I'm a stubborn SOB and I'll figure it out. So anyways, look, we have a finished benchy. So let's pull this off here. Let's grab this camera. Close up. Close up. Close up. Oh, nose hairs. Trim them all. We're all good. And I'm going to just orient this camera a little different. Oh, no, we're okay here. I just got to... There we go. And there we go. So I'm going to pull the benchy off of this little platform. And it's not bad. Again, if you have your Z height, your Z offset set correctly and everything, you won't damage this surface. But as I say, for a beginner, I don't like this because I've been through it. I don't like this particular type of build surface for a beginner because it's so easy to ram your nozzle into this. And if your Z is a little too low, you're going to damage the surface real easy. So, but they do offer at checkout now, you can actually opt for different build surfaces. So here we have our, this camera's not autofocusing anymore for some reason. It doesn't like me. I could have been a bit lower on the first layer, yes. But there we go. But there we go. So we had a little issue. So the print looks good. I mean, if I get a little bit closer here, it's got sparkle in this filament. So this is Jesse PLA Sparkle Blood Red. The print looks good, except something happened halfway up the print here. You can see there's a little edge that shouldn't be there, and it's all the way around on that one layer. I don't even consider it a layer shift because a layer shift would have, you're not going to have that similar ledge all the way around, and that ledge is the same all the way around, whereas a layer shift, it would have just shifted it all over, and I'd have, you guys know what I mean by that. So that's not a layer shift. That's something in the file or something, because otherwise that's really, really good looking benchy. So let's look. So if we look at the overhangs, can't really see inside too well unless I turn the light on. So look at the roof there for the bridging looks pretty good if you can see inside there. Okay. The top of that roof looks decent. Smokestack is decent. And the bridging across the windows. Okay, and if we look at the bow or port or the front, this is the bow. No, this is the stern. No, this, I don't know. If we look at the front, overhangs looking good. So Oh, it's 3 a.m. there. Okay, I'll try and start earlier though. So yeah, the bottom layer, I could have been a little closer. I'm being cautious with this build plate, but if I had when I get my flexible steel sheet on it, I'll squish it down a lot more. But other than that odd phenomenon there, which I don't know what caused that. I'm gonna have to print another one and see if it does the same thing. Then I'll slice it. It didn't do it on the back. Well, maybe a little bit on the back. But yeah, it's not a layer shift, definitely. So, but it's yeah. But otherwise, it's a good looking benchy. Even those top layers in there. For a $169 printer, I consider that a nice looking print. Yeah. Anyways. That's it. That's all. I love my little camera mount. That's great. Because when I'm done with this, I can just undo this clamp and it'll pop right off of there, and I can clamp this onto anything. Like I can clamp that onto any arm, any extrusion. I mean, that's great. That's a great little mount. I got a few more coming in because I'm trying to work on getting better camera angles and stuff. So anyways, yeah. That was good. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Much appreciated. All 8 of you that stuck with me through this. You guys are awesome. And it looks like only one on Twitch, which is fine. And I'm going to go before somebody tries to raid me, which nobody will. But I have been raided before. Let's see. And we have 13 likes, 7 left watching. That is awesome. So you guys, if you want to watch next week, I'm streaming live tomorrow again. I may be a little later tomorrow. I'm going to put up the schedule tomorrow for my 4-on-2-4 build that I'm continuing on, and tomorrow we're getting into little clicky territory. I've built the clicky, and but I think I'm missing a part, and that's what we're going to discuss on tomorrow's stream. And we're going to continue with the 2-4 build. I may be streaming a little later. We have to see what the wife's schedule is like at work for tomorrow, but we'll figure that out. And when I put my when I put up the schedule, when I put up the thumbnail, blah, blah, on YouTube, the notification, it'll have the time on it that I'm doing tomorrow. So if you're here tomorrow, that's great. Come and watch me. And otherwise, I'll try and continue. We're going to work on this Kingroon a little bit more next week. So everybody have a wonderful night, and I will talk to all of you guys later. Thank you for watching. You guys, it's always appreciated. I don't care how many show up. It's just that you show up, and I really appreciate it. So talk to you guys later. Go check out Nero now. Bye for now.